So I've got it all pinned up, and we're just going to pop it around and stitch all the way around, and then I'm going to come back and do a zigzag stitch all the way around. So we'll just start here. So I'm just going to come in where I've got that cross of pins, and I'm just going to go just behind that, and again we're going to do it on that 3/8 of an inch. Okay, just going to take that one out. Just going to come along slowly, just on our normal stitch. You want to make sure that your ruffle side is on the top, okay, if you can. This one's going to be all 3 rows of ruffled, so. See here, this one's gone right up. I don't really want that. To pull that down a little bit. That's better. Okay, so we've got that sitting nice and neat. I'm going to take that pin out because that's helping it stick up. I'm just going to pull that down so that is actually sitting nicely. And then pull those up a little bit on this side. You might find that you might want to take your box off, because you might find it goes through the sewing machine easier. Okay. See, it's just that ruffle's just caught up there. So I'm just going to push that back under, making sure that's, I'll take that pin out, that's going a little bit over the top as well. Let's just put that one under. So this is a much easier little skirt than the one we did before. In the dress. This is going to be a very simple dress skirt. You probably make this up in about an hour. The thing which takes the time is the pinning of it more than anything. The other bits don't take hardly any time at all. So we're just coming on now to where that piece is, and I want to leave this bit open here. So I'm just going to do a back stitch here, and then come along. Lift my needle, and I'm going to move along, if I can, just pull that along a bit, to here, so that I'm just on this piece here where we're starting. Oh, I've got a pin stuck in there. That's it. Right, so just going to come along to here where the interfacing is starting, and I'm going to do a back stitch, and then another back stitch. Okay, and I'm going to come all the way across that front piece. There we go. I don't think I did a back stitch when I started, so I will put a back stitch in a second. And go over there. Just woke up, so it's early in the morning. I just woke up, had a shower, and then came in. And yesterday when I was doing it, it was really annoying. I got there, and then the battery ran out just before I went to put this last little bit in. So I'm just going to come off there, and then I'm going to do a back stitch. And I'm going to come over again. There we go. And I'm going to lift this pin out now, And we've definitely got our hole in there. So I'm going to come here, I'm just going to put another back stitch in because I don't think I did it. Getting a bit caught up with all these loose ends. Let's get them out of the way. Right, then move that along a bit. Sorry, I've got a loose end stuck in there. That's it, it wouldn't come out. I'm just going to move that along to where I started stitching. There, and put that down, and I'm just going to do a back stitch. Okay, so take that there, and then we're just going to move it along a little bit so that that's sort of sitting on the edge of there. We're going to change it to our zigzag stitch. I don't know if you can see that zigzag stitch there. Changed it to that one. Okay. And I'm just going to come along and I'm going to zigzag all the way around, but I'm not going to go over those two pieces where the we've left the hole. I'll do a back stitch with that, just because I don't want it to unravel. I've got some threads there. Where that hole is here, there. Okay, so I'm just going to come a little bit, stop, go back. That'll just stop the threads from unraveling. Lift, move forward onto the piece where we started stitching again, and then we're going to run this all the way around. So I'll stop there. Okay, I'm going to just do a back stitch. Okay, I'm going to lift that up, and then I'm going to take that off, and then we're going to go back to the table again. So when you come along to put your elastic in, when you come along to make the hose for your elastic here and here, you need to make the hose the same size as your elastic. So if your elastic is a 1 inch piece of elastic, then you'll need to make your hole a 1 inch hole, okay? Okay, so we're just coming in to start to put the elastic into our little skirt. It's all looking really pretty. This is a no roll elastic, okay? You can definitely get this off Amazon. It's quite, this one is, I think this one's, yeah, that's 1 inch. You can get different sizes in it, but when you put it in the waistband, it's not going to roll up. Okay, it'll just stay like that. So it's a nice stiff elastic like that. This is another one which I quite like to use with the children's ones, because as the children grow, you can adjust this. So what you would do, and I haven't got enough to put it in this dress today. I was thinking of putting this in, but I don't have enough of it. So what I'm going to do is just use this one, but I will show you what you can do with this. You would put this in, and then you would sew a button, a nice flat button. You can get buttons specially for this. You'd sew that on there, you'd push that through, and that would come out there, and then you'd just button that on, and it would go all the way round, and then you could adjust it to the size of your child. Quite often you find this in boys' trousers, school trousers and things like that, and you can just adjust that around, and that will make the back bigger or smaller. So what I'm going to do today, because my granddaughter isn't here at the moment, is I'm just going to thread it through, and I'm going to do one side, and then I will finish the other side when she comes on Friday, tomorrow. So I'm just going to find my hole, get my hole, and you want to make sure you go into that piece, not the, you don't want to go in there, okay? You want to go in between that piece there, all right, where you've got your interfacing piece, okay? So we're going to put it in, and we want to go around the back. We don't want to go around the interfacing piece. So I'm just going to put it in, and I folded it in half like that, just at the very top, and that'll just give you a little bit easier to get that first bit in. Okay, and then just keep pulling it along as you go along, and it should just go in as easy as anything. And this will probably be much easier for you because my hands don't work, as you know. Pretty useless. So I'm just coming around, just going all the way through. Another thing you can do is pin the other end if you've only got a small piece of elastic, because you don't want to be pulling this end and then suddenly that end to shoot inside, because you have to do it all over again then. I'm just coming up to my hole now. It's going in much better now. I'm going to pull it out like that, unpin it. Like so. Oops. And I'm going to take it back in. Just I'm going to pull this around a bit so I don't want all that gathered there. I'm going to get that straight, so it's laying straight all the way around. Pin that there. Make sure it doesn't go back inside. Okay. On your elastic. So now what we're going to do here is we're going to take this piece of elastic just inside this tiny bit here. So I'm going to pull this out very carefully, keeping it straight, like this. There we go. Okay. I'm just going to pull that along a little bit, just a little. Just enough to scoop that back inside. Had to pull it out to get your pin out. So I'm just popping that one back inside there. And that's laying all nicely. Get it laying so it's laying flat. There we go. And then we're going to pop a pin in it, just there. Okay, because we definitely don't want that to come out. Popping a pin, and the end of the elastic is just here. Okay, so what we're going to do now is come over, make sure this piece is laying nice and flat and straight, which it is not at the moment. Just make sure that piece is going right down there. That's it. There we go. Okay, so you've got that piece laying there. It's nice and flat and straight. Pop your pin back in. What we're going to do is just stitch right over here. So we're going to do one row stitch up there and one row stitch back down. Okay, do a back stitch up, come down, do a back stitch. Okay, just to hold that in place. So it's here under my foot. I'm just going to go in. Let me just put that thread behind. I'm just going to come in. Oh, sorry, make sure you change back to your ordinary stitch. Sorry, I was on a zigzag there. Back stitch, and then come all the way down. I'm just going to take that pin out. And then all the way back up again. And then just go down a little and back stitch. And that will hold that piece of elastic in nicely. And then you just want to come around here now. We've got those tiniest bit of thread left, probably, and just enough to do this. That's it. Won't break it. That's it. Probably, maybe not. I'm just going to stitch where the hole is. Just there. Okay, so I'm just going to come along there and stitch across where that hole is, where we left that hole. Alright. And then right to the other side. And that's my thread gone. Okay, so there we go. Now, if you've got anything bigger than a 2-year-old size, that used a hoe spool. Okay, so you will need a hoe spool. 2 spools if you're doing anything bigger than a 3-year-old size. I still need to do this piece. I'm going to have to machine across there with my zigzag stitch, and then I will finish this, and I'm going to do it in exactly the same way as I've done the other side, so that that's stitched inside, but I will measure it on the child first. Okay, so do that. I would say measure your waistband first onto your child, because all children are different and you don't want anything too tight on their waist. Okay, that's why I haven't given you the sizes for the elastic, because each child is different. You will need to make sure that you've got the right size. You don't want anything which is digging into them too tightly. I'm just going across now, and I'm going to just make sure that my elastic isn't twisted at all. So you can just do that as well, and just make sure that your elastic is laying nice and flat on your skirts. There's no twist in it at all. Just need to move that down a bit. Can you see it was just sticking up there? That's better. So that's all laying nicely with no twists in it on the back of that skirt. And it's quite a nice gather on the back. There, so you've got quite a bit of gather there. Okay, so you should be able to get quite a sizable piece in there to get your child's size correct. Okay, so measure it to your child, and then do exactly the same as we've just done. Stitch over, then stitch over that piece, and then just zigzag over that piece. Okay, so I'm just going to zigzag across that piece of skirt. Put it in the zigzag one. Do a back stitch, and then just go across that little piece of skirt where the hole was. There you go, little back stitch. Back stitch will just stop the thread from unravelling. Okay, and there you go. Alright, so that is your little skirt all finished. Very pretty. So here is our sweet little skirt all finished, and it's looking really adorably cute. I really love it. I love the bumblebees on there. They look really sweet. I'm thinking about putting a few bits and pieces on it, which I'm going to show you in a minute. Okay, just some simple things to pretty it up if you wanted to. If you wanted to add a few more little bits to it. I've got this, which would go on really prettily on the waistband. You can just put that on the very front of the waistband. That would look adorably cute. I've got these, which are just like diamantes. You could have a string of those going around. That would also look really pretty on there. I've got these bees, which are quite like that, and you can get them by the meter. You could cut them off and stitch them on in different parts, and I think that would look really nice and go with that really well. You could add on the bottom some lace, and this is just a cotton embroidery anglaise lace. Is it embroidered anglaise lace? Which would look really pretty on the bottom of it, so that sort of just gives you an idea of that. If you went for a blue lace there, you could make it more mirabelles and add some tassels and things. You just add that there or up there, and then you just cut it off to the size you wanted. So that would look very pretty. I have got, which I think would go quite nicely on the bottom of this one, I've got this, so that when the children moved around, that would all sort of shimmer like that, and you could add that to the bottom, and that would look really nice there. So you've got that sort of shimmery thing as they moved around. That would look cute. I have got, and this is what I'm probably thinking about putting on the top, butterflies like this, which I think would be really nice if you just put on a butterfly here and there like that. That would go very well. On my actual Mirabelle skirt I made for Mirabelle style skirt I made for my granddaughter, I used this one. This one went on the bottom like that, and then I had this one here. I don't know if I can get this off. Can I get this off? Not sure where it's held in place. But then I had that one on that middle one like that, and that looks really nice. It's here, I've got the piece here, we go. Yeah, that looked really nice. So you sort of had this one on the bottom. I had that ruffle around the bottom as well, so that sort of went around there like that. I put some blue lace onto the bottom of it, Hopefully you can see that okay. So it had a bit of blue lace. I don't have any of that blue lace left, but I did have some. Then that one went on top of that, like that. There we go. Okay, so you can put that one on there like that, on top, and that sort of hung down like that. And then I had this one on here. And then just up here, I just, instead of using those ones, I used a coloured cord, which I think I don't have any left of, but that looked really pretty as well, so that looked really nice. And then you could put some different bits and pieces on it, some bees and stuff like that. So it all depends really how much you actually want to put on it. I will bring down the Mirabelle and I will show you that, and you can see how I did that. So this is the Mirabelle skirt, and this was made for my 4-year-old. She's worn it quite a lot, so it's worn really well and it's washed really well. I need to sort of puff these up each time. I made the tassels just out of embroidery silk, so we had the tassels around the bottom, and the same with the little butterflies, so that was alright. And I did the Mirabelle word on there, and as I say, this takes a long time. You need this fabric, and you need and the actual fabric on the dress, on the Mirabelle dress, is green, and I didn't realise until after I bought the fabric. But then you need lots and lots of different scraps of fabric. Sorry, that's a scrap of fabric, that's a scrap of fabric, that's a scrap of fabric. So you need lots of scraps of fabric to do all of the work which is on it, like that. So that is how I did my Mirabelle skirt. So you can do it in exactly the same way as we've just done the little skirt. It's just exactly the same. Okay, and then you can just make it up as you want it. So that is our that's the Mirabelle outfit. I'll just show you the top in case you want to look at that as well. That's adorably pretty. It's very difficult to not difficult, it just takes time. It just took a lot of time, so I put that's that bobbly stuff again. I put that all the way around the outside. You've got your little butterflies that she's on here, that she has on hers, and I just did just a very basic top, the type of top we do all the time. And I put a collar on it, so it was just the ordinary bodice top, and I just made the sleeves with a scallop on the edge and just decorated it. So if a lot of people ask for it, I will show you how to do that one, but it is, as I say, it does take a lot of time. You need quite a bit of fabric in that, so it does end up costing quite a bit to make it. So that is the Mirabelle skirt, but obviously if you fancy doing a Mirabelle skirt, you can just use that pattern to do it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you would like to subscribe, that would be absolutely fantastic, because I'm trying to get my projects out to more people if I can. The more subscribers I get, the more Facebook likes to promote me, so that would be great. Thanks ever so much for watching. See you again next time. Goodbye.